Buddy, welcome to the ashestorubies live podcast. Can you say your thing? It's more you're so professional.
A conversational podcast about life in recovery.
Ah, man, that's so good. That's stellar.
My name is Vicky. This is John.
I'm John. We're here to pump you up.
Oh my goodness.
Remember Hans and Franz from Saturday Night Live? Oh, good times. Remember Saturday Night Live? Does the Saturday Night Live still happen?
Yeah.
Really? I stopped watching it after the Chris Farley, Adam Sandler, David Spade area. Like, there's nothing more to watch after that. I just want to announce today, thank you for coming for a walk with me. And then on the path by the river, there was a lot of mosquitoes, and they were attracted to the dome for some odd reason. So I thought, can John Ruby jog? I jogged for like 10 minutes.
You ran away from me.
I did. I ran away. You caught up because I stopped. But yeah, I jogged. I think
you jogged for a while.
I think I could be a jogger. I ran out of air. Like, I know it's free and everything, but I was like, why is it harder to breathe? I'm not in jogging shape. I'm in no athletic shape. That's what I've come to the realization.
Working on it.
But yes, we are working on it. Progress.
Working on your physical fitness, working on your spiritual fitness, working on your emotional health.
Yeah. Set the bar low, work into it for the next lifetime. That's the thing. It's a lifetime. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And in early recovery, I remember sprinting and falling on my face. And I don't think we're designed to sprint. It's on our own power we sprint. I remember that I get all into like, oh, I'm going to work out every day. And I do all the gym stuff. And then I go use it. And it's like, what a waste that was. So if I apply my energy to the spiritual part, as much as I want to do the other stuff, I think, and then we come in balance, and then we get out of balance, and then we got to come back into balance. So thank you for, do you think you could jog?
No, I have sore knees.
But you can walk.
Yeah.
So I always assume if somebody could walk, they could jog. Not true?
It's the impact. The impact is hard on my knees.
I had impact in my belly area. Like, I felt my belly.
You need a brace? Like a bra?
The belly bra. Oh, wow. Okay. This is...
Thanks for being so vulnerable on camera.
I know. Okay. I apologize.
You're red.
To everybody.
You're so red.
The belly bra. All right. Here we go. Spiritual health coming up. We are going to read our morning meditation and get our thought of the day. So this one is called Two-Way Street. If we ask God, God will certainly forgive our delicatessens?
Derelictions.
What's a derelict?
You derelict.
What is that? I don't know what you're saying. Did you just cuss at me?
Like trespasses.
Google.
You know, in...
Oh, so... Okay, forgive us our trespasses.
Basically, it's our bad things. Derelictions.
Okay.
You know, the derelict kid, he goes and knocks down street signs.
No
one's spray paints a wall.
I've never heard that. I've never
Well,
heard
I'm
that
telling
word.
you, this book was written in the 1940s.
No one's ever used that word. And I've been a derelict, and no one's ever called me a derelict.
Your mother has.
She's never called
sure
me a derelict.
No, but she's used the word.
Maybe behind my back. If we ask, God will certainly forgive our derelictions. But in no case does he render us white as snow and keep us that way without our cooperation.
Right? Read that again.
It was twisting my tongue.
If we ask, God will forgive us, but in no case does he render us white as snow and be able to keep us that way without our cooperation.
So it's a daily thing. It's a daily coming to God.
We could start off with, unless we cooperate, God cannot keep us white as snow even after we have been forgiven.
Oh, I like how you read it. You're so comprehensive. I heard a speaker say the garbage pile doesn't necessarily all just get gone, but the stink is off the garbage. I was like,
and
I
used to always say, you can clap your hands real loud and scare away the rats, But unless you clean up the garbage pile, the rats are just going to come back.
But what if that garbage pile doesn't smell? Then the rats won't come.
Mm.
Interesting concept. We could wrestle with that later. When I prayed, I used to omit a lot of things for which I need to be forgiven. I thought that if I didn't mention those things to God, he would never know about them. I did not know that if I had just forgiven myself for some of my past deeds, God would forgive me also. I was also taught to prepare for the journey through life, never realizing until I came to AA or the 12 steps or whatever program that you're in, LifeLab, when I was honestly became willing to be taught forgiveness and forgive, that life itself is the journey. The journey of life is a very happy one, as long as I'm willing to accept change and responsibility. Amen. Man, you see that dichotomy in the beginning of the Bible, where there's this temptation to be perfect like God, this temptation to be independent from God and be disobedient, and they walked away from the perfect love of God, and they were filled with fear.
Yeah.
And that fear, they turned on each other, and then he turns on God and says, it's the woman that you gave me. It's your fault. And apart from God, apart from love, we are filled with fear. And I think that's what it's speaking to me about, is just accepting the responsibility of understanding that I've walked away from God and I've caused these things, and these things are going to happen to me, and I respond to them, and I need his forgiveness, or else I'm just stuck in the mud. Is that what it's like? What did you think?
Yeah. I think that definitely, that idea of it's a two-way street. Like I can't just like think something, is going to happen, like snap, and then I'm just, going to be able to live differently. I actually had to be intentional about my life and being willing to accept change and responsibility.
Mm-hmm. I remember hearing,
and it was a big deal to forgive myself. That was actually really hard, and I actually had to kind of fight through that.
Mm-hmm.
Forgiving myself.
Yeah, I found that it was easy to forgive myself. I had a problem with God, but then it was hard to forgive the other people. And I think what I heard this like kind of a little bit of a banter, where one person was saying that we come into a place of forgive and forget. Like that is true recovery. I actually forgive and I forget all about it. And then there was a response to that of another person relating the same experience of actually forgiveness for her was being able to forgive, let go of the debt, and be placed in a position of neutrality in her mind and her emotions. And I thought that resonated with me more, because I don't forget stuff that happened to me.
But okay, so I have, though. So the thing for me is like I didn't think I'd ever be able to forgive you, right? That I thought. And I remember one day we were going on vacation. We would drive through a city that you had an affair in that city. And we're driving through the city, and we're several years into...
We're talking like this on this. So
Sorry.
Carry on.
I remember we're in the car, the kids are in the back seat, and I remember becoming so aware that my entire demeanor had changed. That I was like irritable, I was cranky, I was tense, I was like snarking at you. And this is years into recovery, like years and years into recovery. And then I remember becoming aware that I had been thinking about the Visa bill that I saw with like expenses on it for like a certain restaurant that I had never been to. And I was thinking about that restaurant. I was thinking about the city that we were driving through. I was thinking about that restaurant. And then I just got so irritable. So what happens for me now is, and then there was like this whole journey of forgiveness. And like, I remember a moment of realizing like, oh, I actually think I have forgiven him. Like these, like that. And then I trusted you. I remember being aware that, oh, I trusted you.
You're
like,
not reacting. You're in a neutral position, but you still remember it.
So now when I remember, so I will catch myself sometimes. We were in that city for an extended period of time. And, I remember just being aware. We scootered all along the waterfront, probably past that restaurant. I didn't think anything of it. Occasionally I'll remember things that happened in the past, but there isn't any emotion or like emotional response, or like it would literally, like I would get hot. I would get big inside. I would just get like, and then I would get nasty. And so for me, like, it's not that I forget. It's not that I could never be caused to remember, or if I want to make a point, like, like that I can tell a story like this, but not actually feel emotions attached to those memories anymore. And I think that's the place of neutrality.
Yeah.
Is actually
it's not reacting.
Yeah. And I'm not going to treat you different later because, I remembered this, whatever.
So then God did for you what you can't do for yourself. But you have the responsibility and
to cooperate.
Cooperation to let God do the surgery on you. And so when we go through the process of LifeLab or a 12-step process, we actually get to see our resentments and then really understand that person was fueled by fear and they've done evil and horrible stuff. And apart from God, we're all left to our own depravity. And then, have I hurt people? Have I taken advantage of people? Have I used people? Whatever.
Yeah.
And then I can be like, okay, well, I can let that person off the hook and go like, well, this has really caused problems in my life,
right?
My behavior, and it's all being fueled by fear. And so when I come and give that to God, he actually burns that away like on the altar. And so I'm actually in a place of neutrality. I don't think forgive and forget is the goal. I think forgive and be neutral.
Forgetting in the sense of like, it's not taking up my headspace all the time anymore. Yeah. That's forgetting, right? That. Where like so much of my life was consumed, so much of my thought life for so long was consumed by the things that other people had done to me. That was like so much of my headspace. And to be in a place now where actually it doesn't take up my headspace. I don't hardly ever think about the things that were done to me. If I do think of them, there's not like a ton of emotion attached to it anymore. Occasionally I feel sad, or, usually not even when it comes to like me and you. But there's some other things that I might feel really sad about. Grief, like, but there isn't an anger necessarily attached to any more to those memories, or those people. And I think it's a miracle in and of itself, but for sure, I had to participate in that. I had to be intentional. I actually had to fight. I actually stomped my foot. When I would think about things, I would say like, no, this is not what I'm going to be dwelling on. And here's the truth. And I would tell myself the truth about, you, and the truth about like how our life is now. And that was in the past and it's not anymore. And
well, and that's the thing. People separated from God are fueled by fear, and we do horrible things to people. And so, have a great weekend. Awesome stuff. Belly bras and forgiveness. And I guess my meditation today is, am I still holding on to stuff, or am I in a place of neutrality? Have I been forgiven? Have I forgiven those around me? And am I in a place of neutrality?
And do I need to pick up the carpet and peek and see what's underneath?
I have to pick up and like, it doesn't mean your house is clean. It just means that it's going to come up at some point. And that's the thing about recovery. It can give us the illusion that we're in recovery, but not recovered, because if the heat gets turned up in your life and there's horrible, tragic things that happen, that stuff's going to come out. And just because you haven't thought of alcohol or drugs, it doesn't mean they haven't thought of you for the last 10 years. And so God has truly wants to set us free and be in a place of neutrality. So I think that's beautiful language. I give that to you today. And have a great weekend. Hi, Brandy. How are you?
Hi, Brandy.
Have a great weekend. Wash your hands. Keep the peace. Be of good behavior, and pass the love of God to your neighbors. Have a great weekend. Bye.